It's just Wednesday. We figure it out as we
It's
go.
just Wednesday. Is that our new is that our new thing?
Just,
That's right. We're not what the Wednesday. It's just Wednesday. It's just Wednesday.
People get our deal by now, right? We're never just jumping straight into it. It's always some BS to get through first.
Yeah, well, we're gonna do it all. We're gonna do it all over again now that I hit the record button.
Perfect.
Right?
Yeah, hit the people with it.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of What the Wednesday with myself, Chris, the mic guy, Qualizar. One of those. One day, I think we've been doing this intro. This is episode 30, so we've been doing this intro for this intro here probably about 20 weeks at least.
Time.
Yeah, at least 20 weeks, at least half a year probably, roughly around there. And I still haven't officially named myself. I still come up with 3, but
shame.
That's okay. Going on to the other side of the panel here is my co-host Dusty, the Game Hopper. How has your week been?
I know who
man?
I am. It's been good, man. Nothing crazy eventful. I did finally, for the first time in a while, get out and just catch up with friends, for an entire day, and it was just great to just catch up, drink, tell stories, and it was like the rest of the world didn't matter at that point. So it was good times. I missed that, so it was nice to get back to it. The online connections and stuff have been enough to keep me sane, I guess I'll say, during the pandemic, but I definitely missed the face-to-face stuff, so it was good to be able to do that.
It's very interesting when you mention something. I had that experience not probably about a week ago now. It was last Tuesday, not yesterday, but the Tuesday before that. I happened to a buddy of mine. I was actually going to pick up beer for stream, right? And a buddy of mine was like, "Hey, I'll ride along with you and go pick it up." I'm like, "Okay, yeah, sure." And we got there. And we're like, "Hey, let's have one while we're here," right? And it just kind of turned into this. Next thing you know, 3.5 hours later, we're still sitting there.
Yeah.
And I was like, man,
oh god,
I really miss this. I really just miss that, that just simple, not having to worry, and just kind of hang out and chill and just be relaxed and to be able to connect that way. As much as I love what Microsoft Teams and Discord and if Skype's even still a thing, if Google Talk and Facebook Meet and all these other, I'm getting them all mixed up, I'm sure. But all these other platforms, all these other platforms have allowed us to connect, but it's still not the same, right? It's close, but it's still not quite there. So it'll be great once we can get past it and really be able to enjoy.
Yeah.
And I got my first vaccine dose last Thursday. So sure. Yeah, I'm going with that date. That's the one I'm going to pick. It's somewhere around there.
May 13th is your special day. I got to get mine scheduled soon.
Yeah, I get it. May 13th is my special day. I keep
looking around here and everything's booked up right now, so I'm trying to, I don't know.
Apparently Jamie's yelling at me from across the room here. May 13th. May 13th is going to be the day that I will be fully completed. It's 2 weeks after my second dose or whatever. So that'll be my 95% effective thing or whatever. So hey, that's okay. It's okay. I'll be looking forward to May 13th. I'm going to find something to do. Something to experience.
Something. Get out of the house in any way possible, right? Good, man. That's awesome.
So other than that, what has been going on for you in the digital realm?
Video games, Twitch, the usual. Not much changes. It's just really the game on any given day. Still been playing some Outriders. I've been thankfully one of the ones not struck by the lose your entire inventory when you log into your character issue.
Is that so? I was about to say Outriders per se. I've heard about some pretty game breaking bugs. That is it. That's what it is.
Yeah. So it's just an absolute inventory wipe, because what it seems like is somehow the server is losing your character. So you log on, and instead of seeing your geared up character, it's just bare boned, nothing, and it's all gone. And some people can't even play on it anymore. They connect, and it just keeps giving them a disconnect or connection to server error. But they're working on it. They're working on a fix. It hasn't affected a high percentage of people, but again, if you're any of these players and you've been putting in 100 hours grinding these legendaries and things like that, and you log on one day and it's just all gone, and they promise they're going to get the items back, but they can't guarantee the same stats on it, that's just, it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt a lot of people. It'll probably turn away a lot but we'll see.
Yeah, that's one of the.
Can do about it.
I can tell you firsthand, right? That was my No Man's Sky experience, right? I mean, I think we might be giving it another try, but the issue where you go through like a multi-day, multi-week event, to try to complete something, and then it's all gone. Right? When we lost our freighter, we both lost. No, I lost my freighter. You didn't do. I lost like.
I lost mine wasn't as decked out as yours inside, but I did lose everything because I warped to your same star system.
That's what it was.
And it bugged us both out.
Yeah. So there's things like that where it's just like it's just mentally so frustrating, and you're like, I'm done with this. I'm out. Like it can break a game for somebody and just really make them lose all momentum in it. And I hope Outriders doesn't do it. I think it's been a pretty popular game up to this point. I'd like to see it hang around for a while. It's been hard to see, and what I'm hoping to see, right? It's been hard to see a game stand the test of time with longevity. I mean, as far as and maybe let's intro to this. Let's intro to this. Maybe with the pandemic, right? Games haven't been. Not that they haven't been as good, but because people are playing them so aggressively, they haven't been standing the test of time because people get tired before content can be deployed for it.
No, yeah, definitely. There was obviously there was always people who would full send into games because they had the capability to do so. Be it kids that just all they had to do was go to school, or it was their summer off, or people who, I don't know, for whatever reason they work from home and things like that, and they can still play a game 10 hours a day, and it's not a big deal. But with a lot of us who are stuck in that scenario, that percentage has gone way up. So it's a bigger part of the game base that's grinding through these 100-hour content in, 2 weeks instead of 2 months. And it's tough. It's tough for any game to live up to that. And I think you hit it on the head that no game really has launched, I feel like, during the pandemic and has really hung on for a very long time. Because even like Valheim, things like that were big, but you don't hear about it anymore. No content, no new content. You want the new content.
And you gotta give credit. You gotta give credit to the developers who are trying to, in Valheim's case, right? They made this stance. Hey, we're gonna make sure we release content as bug free as possible, right? We want to do as much as we can to not have the content be impacted, after its release, or have to make changes after release. And, I totally credit them for that. But at the same time, if people cap everything and they're just standing there twiddling their thumbs, they're not gonna. There's only so much you can do, right?
Yeah. No. Yeah. Especially in games like that. Yeah, where there's not, where there's no new missions, there's no new bosses to push for. Like once you've beaten Valheim, I'll say at this point, you killed that last god. You get on and start a fresh character, or you can get on and do buildings, but I don't know. It's not a lot of people want to play a game over and over again. Even if you do, it's you'll come back to it a year later and be like, oh, that campaign was fun, I could do it again, but not ingest it back to back over weeks.
Right.
That's a lot. So
yeah,
I think a lot of us, we get to a point where we all right, we fully dive into a game, finish it much sooner than intended, put it down, and we're like, all right, well, we'll come back when there's an update. I have a lot of games like that in my library installed on my PC right now.
That you just revisit after the update comes?
Yeah. Look, I play it a big bunch and say, all right, I had my fair share for now, and I can't keep playing it every day because I'll drive myself crazy, but I know they're promising content, so I'll come back to it when that content comes. I think No Man's Sky kind of became like that. We full sent into it. Here we are. Maybe trying it again today. Maybe Phasmophobia. I don't know yet. We'll have to see how we feel in about 20, 25 minutes. But
yeah.
So, can you think of any game that has?
Launched? I'm really trying to think and I'm thinking of a game that's launched and has become the new blockbuster title, right? Or been in let's see from a streaming culture perspective, a game that's launched and been in the top 20 games, right?
Yeah.
So, average, right? Because you keep seeing Rocket League has good numbers, Fortnite still has good numbers, Modern Warfare still has good numbers, Apex, right?
Yeah.
The one, right now it is whatever, Outriders. Like right now it is Outriders.
Okay.
You see it creeping around there. You see it moving around. Maybe Genshin has kind of held on. It's in that low, like it's
Are
in
they
that
still up there?
it's still okay, right? I think it's in the top. How many are in a row? For me, there's like 8. I think there's 8 in a row. So
Gotcha.
I think it's in like the top 25, maybe. I think it's like number 24. Like it's been like skirting the edge of the top 25. Not growing a whole lot though. But I mean, Genshin I think is releasing pretty good consistent content. But outside of that, I couldn't tell you where I think that there's games that have really like broken the mold and really pushed their way into being like the next big game. You know, I mean, looking at it right now, looking at it,
pulled up,
you've got GTA 5, you know, Minecraft, League of Legends, Warzone, Valorant, Fortnite, Apex. That's your top row, right? It's not really nothing new has released. I mean,
like
maybe
nothing about that is shocking or
maybe this Garena Free Fire.
That's been around for a long time. It's like a South American specific battle royale.
Okay. I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, that's why it's one of those names where you see it, you're like, oh, I don't know what that is. But yeah, it's got a big following down there.
Tarkov could be one. I think Tarkov could probably be one. That's
been around for a year plus, right?
Yeah, but even that would be early pandemic phase, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
that would be early pandemic. So
it's been doing okay.
But outside of that, all the rest of these are pretty much. I mean, I wouldn't even give Monster Hunter credit because Monster Hunter was a game before, and now it's just kind of revisited. But I think those I would say out of this list, right? You're looking at possibly Tarkov, and that's really it.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I mean, all the rest of these are games that have just
year and a half that's been there for a couple months.
Yeah, all the rest of these are just old games that have just been around. Like nothing. Even if you keep scrolling down, right? It Takes Two is already out of the top 3 rows, right?
Genshin. We knew that was going to be a quick fad.
Yeah,
right?
Genshin's out, right? Outriders is already out. There's a lot of these that are just they just don't. It's not that they don't hold good viewership, right? Because they're still 10K viewers plus.
Yeah, no, yeah, and that's nothing to scoff at all.
But they're still 10K plus total viewership, which is good. I mean, that's not bad by any means. But at the same time, I'm just mentioning like they aren't these blockbuster games that people are really looking to like really drive the future of content creators. Like when people think of starting streaming. Right, most of the time, it's because they play one of these top games, right?
I know
one of these top 15 games. They play one of those, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I could do this." Right? I see that guy. I know who does that. I could be a little bit better with that, and that's kind of how it starts.
Even Among Us, which I wouldn't say it's a new title, but it did kind of make it surge. Streaming, 6 months ago maybe started the push around there. That even right now is only like 4,500 viewership.
So the new game, have you heard First Class Trouble?
No, is it another
First Class
style like that?
Yeah, First Class Trouble is a new game that's kind of on its way out. I think it's in alpha or pre-release. It might even be full release.
Okay.
I got shown it on Monday. Somebody showed me the title. That is a new. Basically, it's like the adult version of Among Us, right? Like you literally like throw liquor bottles at each other, and like you do I mean, like it's very like it's like the mafia goes to outer space, and you have criminals, you have basically an assassin aboard the ship or whatever kind of thing. So it's very Among Us style. You have missions, blah blah blah, but it's way better graphics. It's actually got some kind of meat and potatoes behind the concept, right? Like it took a little bit of development, which kind of caused.
For sure. Yeah, it's nice to see because I mean, again, I always found it funny that Among Us became such a popular thing because growing up, I played Counter-Strike like that, and then on my side, Gary's Mod was a game we would all like to go to a lot because there was a lot of very modded games on there that you can mess around with. One of them was Trouble in Terrorist Town, TTT as it was called, and that literally was 10 of you spawn on a map. There's like one detective, 2 traitors, and the rest are innocents, and you're trying to figure out who the traitors are and kill them first before they kill you. So it's to me, it wasn't a new game idea, but it was cool to see different takes on it, and I'd like to see that's a fun one to bring back in 2 different ways. So I can see that being successful.
Yeah, and if they can hang around, right? Again, like you've mentioned before, it's a game where if you can get a full list of streamers or full list of content creators or people who are willing to be offline, right, while you're doing it, and they don't impact your standard viewership, then I think that's a really good opportunity to be able to connect and have a good collab environment and get some communities to come together for some fun.
Yeah, because that too, again, with all these games we see on the top of this list, big thing that connects them all is multiplayer, online multiplayer,
everything,
and
everything. I don't think there's no single player game
titles. No, nothing that lasts. And I don't know. There's something about the recipe for these games that has just somehow been unable to be replicated over the last 2 years, and that just seems weird to me. I don't know. Maybe in the future we'll see some new stuff.
You would think that somebody could just come in and make almost the exact same game.
Yeah.
Just improve on the things that everybody complains about from the original, and it would work, but it doesn't seem like that happens. I don't know why. Yeah. I don't know what that is. But anyway, we'll follow up on that. Moving we'll keep an eye on it, I want to say. Maybe a little more in-depth topic on ideas on why we think certain games really hold on when we think they shouldn't, right? Like that, kind of stuff. Like Fair GTA enough. 5 is one of the ones that I still don't understand, but
630,000 people watching.
Top on Twitch right now.
Double number 2. Yeah. All right.
So, one thing that you notified me of before we got started, switching gears here a little bit, is we officially have a new all-time subscription leader.
Never thought it'd be done.
So the original record was set by Ninja back in 2018?
2018, yeah. 269,000 and something.
Okay, we'll just say 270,000 concurrent subscribers for Ninja in 2018. That was his peak number.
Wild, right?
270,000 subscribers in a month. That's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Ludwig just got through. He's done, right? 31 days is done.
Yeah, he finished yesterday.
Ludwig
finished last night.
Ludwig, who, for those of you who don't know, has been an absolute YouTube sensation, just really found a way to find an amazing strategy to grow his content exponentially. Like, the guy has just exploded out of nowhere through the pandemic, has really been able to hone his talents and really grow. And he just finished a 31-day stream. A month-long stream.
Just 31 days.
Subathon. So it was driven by subscriptions the entire time.
Yep.
Right? And at the end of the stream, what was his current sub count?
His peak he hit was 283,000.
283,000. So still not like, in terms, 13,000 is still a huge number, right?
Oh, yeah,
it's still massive. But in terms of percentages, it's not a huge percentage difference, right? You're talking about 5% or something like that. Like, it's not even 10% difference. But that's still massive, like, in terms of just the accomplishment. Just the accomplishment to say that, hey, who people know as the greatest, the greatest beginning content creator of all time, right? The greatest streamer that the grandfather, the granddaddy of all streaming.
The granddaddy.
He could go down in history as the father of modern streaming.
He is entertaining. He is the biggest name, I think, in recent streamer history. And it shows. The fan base coming out supporting, and obviously that's a crap ton of money to make something like that happen. It's nuts. I don't think he ever expected it was going to get to this point when he started this subathon a month ago. But it was a wild ride to watch for sure. I was, every time I would go to bed, I'd pull out my phone and pop up his stream, see where he's at. So many nights, I see it 1 minute left, 2 minutes left, and then, the next day there he is still going. So he had the support, even when he was sleeping, people were throwing money at him.
Sleeping's the weird part to me.
Good for him.
Sleeping's the weird part to me. Like, and we've talked about this in the past, you know, on the past episodes when we've said, like, I would have to be, like, on camera to sleep or something like that. It wouldn't be like, hey, I'll see y'all later, right? And then, like, but at the same time, like, what happens if something happens, like, while you're sleeping? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I'm just trying to think, like, I don't know. Whatever. Anyways,
there's a lot of what ifs and scenarios like that.
Yeah.
I'm just even thinking of like the setup to make that all work. Obviously he has plenty of money to get all the cameras and things he needs, and that's planned out beforehand.
But that is a huge part right there. Like just arranging cameras, making sure all your PCs are operating, because you got to have multiple things everywhere, or wireless cameras, or whatever you're doing, right? Like it's got to be a crazy setup, that kind of stuff,
right? Round of applause for that hardware too, for going 31 days straight. That's it's a testament to computer these days.
I don't know. Maybe
they don't get any love.
Maybe in the background he's like he's got staff running through his house, like rebooting and like working on machines. Like, I mean, you got to think
throwing out a tower because it's smoking, putting another one in. Like,
you got to think for some again. This is where, guys, we're talking about 283,000 subscribers, right? We're talking about $500,000 in a month, right?
And you got to think too, like donations and other stuff.
Yeah.
It's
like, I'm just like, the idea is $500,000 in a month. He's paying for an IT guy to make sure nothing goes down, right? Mm-hmm. Like, he's calling his ISP. He's got like 4 routers flowing into his house, right? Like, I mean, that kind of concept, like, you have a serious infrastructure at that point, because if you go offline, right? Because we know you mentioned he had hiccups and some things like that, but he came back almost immediately, right? Because you still have to have a base streaming PC. It's not like you can split the stream between 5 PCs, right? You still have to have that base machine that's providing the content, right? So you still have to have that live, but you still have to. I mean, it's just, that's crazy, absolutely crazy when you think about it.
Oh yeah, mods too. They all made some good money. It was a big endeavor.
Yeah,
YouTube videos still pumping out.
So
having a team. We talked about that before, and we're all just jealous.
I am. I'm very jealous. I am. I'm not gonna lie. I would love to be able to. So I think that's part of a discussion again in the future. Like, I would love to be able to have a staff, not because I don't want to do the work, but because have cool people that help you have your vision come true, right? Like, to have people that you enjoy spending time with, like because you turn them into friends, right? Like, you turn them into friends. You're working with people.
100%.
You have to in this type of business, right? And then you're all working together to try to come up with some like major accomplishment. I think it could be good. Anyway,
the dream.
Yeah.
We can talk about it forever because we just want it to happen.
I know.
There's no cons in my book. It's just an endless list of pros to having a team behind you.
Okay, so the last one. So our main topic of the night. And this is not our last topic. I got one more before we hit that, right? One more before we hit the main one. So I just want to say the main topic of the night is, what the title was, is does Twitch finally care about its presence as a brand? Has Twitch finally woken up? Does Twitch actually understand that what people think about it matters, right? Like, so, but before we get there, I got one more thing. What do you think? And we've talked about this guy quite a bit. What do you think about the Harris Heller move?
I mean, somebody asked me about this the other day. It's not a surprise to me. I think for him, where he's at, it just makes more sense. I mean, because his thing, it's what? He's no longer going to stream on Twitch. He's just exclusively with YouTube now. Right? That was the big move, the play.
Yes. So he has his so apparently for the past like roughly month. I watched the video. For the past month, he's been reaching out to Twitch and saying, "Hey, when does my contract end? What is the official end date of my contract?" Right? And apparently he's been kind of planning this to some extent, and he decided that he was going to make this move. So he's like, what do I do? How do I do it? And Twitch wouldn't respond to him. They kept telling him, oh, you need to find the original date. You need to find the date on your original contract. We're not providing that to you.
Of course.
right? They don't want to let him know. They don't want, you know what I mean? Because they get the feeling I'm not going to renew, right? Like they get that feeling and they know. So they're like, oh, well, I'm not going to tell you. And then apparently he said it came in a non like, it wasn't even like a Twitch. It wasn't even like a Twitch support email or something like that. No title. Like it was very like low key. Like, your partnership has been canceled based on not re-signing your contract. It was like super simple. Like, you know, or your contract is canceled due to not re-signing. Blah blah blah. Right? Like it was like didn't mention Twitch, didn't reference partnership, whatever. So. And he was like, well, I guess this just happened, right? And he's like, okay, we're going to solely, so his check mark is gone, his subscriber button is gone, everything's done, and he's full send on YouTube now. And he made the statement that he's aware, like he expects, right? He expects to lose money on this deal, right? Like in terms of how much he was generating in revenue on Twitch, but it's money that he can afford to lose, right? Like, I mean, the concept is right? 100%. It's money that he can, because he thinks he's betting on the winning horse, right? Like he thinks he's moving to the right place to provide for the future of his content.
Especially with all these plans he has with his new Senpai
HQ,
whatever it's. It just feels like it's all more YouTube geared stuff anyways. I know they're going to have a few separate channels with different stuff. And I think in general, I don't think his content necessarily leans towards needing to be live. I think the best stuff Harris Heller does is recorded videos and tips and things like that. And obviously the Stream Beats thing is fantastic. And he has a lot of plans to continue producing new copyright free music for people. So I think if, honestly, him getting away from live streaming, even if he's obviously still doing it on YouTube, maybe a little bit, I think that's better for him in the long run because then he can focus on the stuff that, to me, is what he's best at.
So you want me to give you some of the So he has, right, he still has Alpha Gaming. Right, he still has Alpha Gaming.
Be called Senpai Gaming now or something.
Now, so Alpha Gaming is, to my understanding, Alpha Gaming staying what it is. Senpai HQ is going to be its own thing, and then he's going to and then he has his personal YouTube channel now where he's going to stream from, called the Harris Heller channel, right?
Okay.
In what's it been? In 3 days? April 12th? No. When did this go live? He made the announcement on April 13th. Okay. He made the announcement on April.
Yesterday.
April 13th. Yeah, yesterday. I think he made the announcement 2 days ago or something, but it started really going out. He now has already 45,000 views on his channel.
Okay.
And one of the requirements for being YouTube partner is 4,000 hours watched.
Yeah.
Right? He's already got 34,000 subscribers, 34.2. Yeah. And he's already got over 8,000 hours watched on his channel.
Video?
He's got four videos on his channel.
Okay.
3 are within the last 30 days. So he's had a few things on there that are older, but 3 are from the last 30 days. And it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy, like what this is able to do for him, and the fact that it shows something to his community. Now he hasn't streamed yet. Right?
True.
He hasn't streamed yet, so it'll be interesting to see how his stream plays out. I think his first stream on YouTube is tomorrow, but
might be one I should stop by.
Just to see 34,000 people subscribe, right? Like that's incredible. Like you're talking about. Now he had not a whole lot before that, but he gained, I should say, on from April 9th to April 14th, he gained 3, so that's 11, 11, 13, I'm trying to do math here. Anyways, he gained about 20,000. So he already had, 10,000, 12,000 that knew that his channel existed before that, right? But he didn't have the watch time. Yeah. He had almost no watch time, right? So that's the huge factor. I mean, just right out the gate there, that's crazy.
That's a nice spike knowing that you have, a decent, small enough, loyal fan base. I'm not going to say small enough, but I don't know what his numbers are like overall on whatever platform he made that announcement on. But that's a pretty good turnover rate, regardless, even just in 24 hours.
So he made the announcement on YouTube.
Cool to see.
He made the see. That's the weirdest thing. Not the weirdest thing I would say, but that's going to be the hardest thing I think people are going to be to figure out. If you're not a fan of his YouTube content and you only go watch his streams, then you're going to have to, because you're going to have to go to his YouTube content. If you're legitimately interested and you want to know, it's not like, hey, I pop into him sometimes. Like if you're a legitimate fan and you actually enjoy his content, his live streams, then you're going to have to go find it, because he even said, he was like, I wish I would have known that my last Twitch stream was going to be my last Twitch stream, because I would have talked about it. He was like, I streamed, and then the contract ended like 2 days later, and I had no idea that it was coming up. So he said it was a really weird, like, I had no time to say, hey guys, this is going to be my final stream. From now, we're going over here. This is what the future is, blah, blah, blah. He had no way to plan that, because Twitch wouldn't tell him. But it's going to be it's going to be a very interesting wild ride for him. Again, we've always said in the past, best of luck to him. I think he's breaking. I
think he's better off,
He's breaking down the industry, and he's changing the way people think about content creation, right? Same thing with Ludwig, right? Like they're using creative ways to do things. Granted, they found ways to get financially supported to do crazy things, to be able to get that trend going. But the ideas have been there that have really helped them grow. So more power to him if they can make it successful. And you know what? If he can be that YouTube streamer that really starts to push YouTube in a good direction and start saying, hey, YouTube, this is what we need, right? Start giving Google that feedback from a high level, like, hey, I've got 10,000 viewers. I mean, I don't think he's going to, but like get to that point that says, hey, I've got 10,000 viewers. Come on, like, let's make this decision happen, so that way, like, he'll be like, hey, look, I'll pay for the work. Like, just make it happen. YouTube needs this, right? There's so many things that YouTube needs. And that's been my fear. That's been my fear of transitioning. But, eventually we've made that talk. I'm going to do it eventually, but I don't know when, but it's going to happen.
Yeah. No, I think anybody as a content creator needs to, we should all know Harris Heller and appreciate what he's done for the rest of us. Be it Stream Beats or other things like that. And he's a good guy to have in our corner. I feel like he is a very big representative for us all. And he's one of the few that has used his success and is trying to change all the streaming platforms, content creation platforms, for the better for the content creators. A lot of people don't necessarily do that. They get to the peak and they just kind of keep coasting and making money and doing their thing. Harris Heller's, he's reinvesting the money he's making and trying to do cool things for the rest of us. So, again, good luck to him. I know we'll be watching him, keeping a close eye, and I think we'll see nothing but success from the guy.
Yep. So now I think we're finally to the meat and potatoes here. We got through the intro.
Hail!
We got to the intros. Through the intros.
Yeah, the 45-minute intro. It's no big deal.
Hey, it's only 33. It's only 33 minutes.
Right. Yeah, we were talking for a little while before. Forgot.
So let's start off by saying Twitch support came out with an announcement. I think I did forward that on to you earlier today, right? I sent that to you.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
So Twitch support came out, made an announcement today that they are going to start going after viewbots. And we've been having these talks. We've been having these talks quite a bit about
way too much.
Yeah, I mean, about what we think. Not that necessarily there are viewbots. Like, there's no confirmed understanding of it, but there's some kind of weird mojo. I want to say there's some kind of weird mojo in some of these streams that we're watching, and we can't quite put our finger on it. So
fishiness for sure.
So, this is an interesting direction in this effort, right? Yeah. So I'm looking at
engagement that Twitch refers to it as.
Right. So I'm looking at right now, right? And this is going to be like a major thing, right? I mean, like, this is not this is not like Activision saying, hey, we got rid of the hackers. This is a major enforcement thing. Right now, they're saying that there's 7.5 million accounts that they have detected. 7.5 million accounts. Now, I don't know yet. It says that BreakRTOS by follow botting and view botting, right? This is on their Twitter feed. I don't know if these accounts are the bots or if these accounts are the content creators that are interacting with the bots.
Yeah. My guess, based the way on it's worded, is that it is the bot users themselves, like the fake users created. It could be a mixture, but I wouldn't imagine that that's just people using the services in a sense. So that's a huge number, right? Is there even only like that many people that stream?
7.5 million?
8 million? I forget what the total number of active streamers is.
Yeah, it's gotta be bot accounts. But in there, what's interesting is I would never want to think that I've been a part of viewbotting, but in there it says, as a result of these removals, you may see sudden decrease in your follower and viewer count. And I'm like, wait, what? Like who would willingly be like, hey, I saw a decrease in my viewer count because you got rid of all the view bots? Like, who's gonna be that guy? Be like, I've got no viewers anymore, guys. Stop lurking.
Yeah, I mean, you'll get some of the people that go from they go from 4 to 3, and they're gonna blame it on this. But I think I'm honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it's a lot of these mid-range channels that we see that are on the partner push, the words we hate so much. If you see those numbers go from 100 to 10, 50 to 5, whatever it may be. I'm obviously going a little bit extreme on the drops, but it'll be really interesting to just see just some of the averages on a whole. Like probably peek at Solinome or something like that to see the big swing from month to month here as this rolls out. And it looks like, too, they're going to continue to identify more.
Yeah,
I guess they have some machine learning algorithm running.
So basically, that's exactly right. So basically, through, we've kind of talked about the way AI and machine learning kind of tries to work.
Got to watch out for the computer, man.
Yeah, it gets smarter. It gets smarter and smarter and smarter and smarter. So, it's just going to get better and more aggressive going into the future, and it's going to make the right picks. Now, I don't know that there is a... what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know that there is an appeals process for this. Like, say Twitch turns around tomorrow and says, "Oh, we've detected that you're a view bot. Your account has been deactivated." Like, what's the appeals process for that? Like, if you have a legitimate channel and you've been doing things, but I have an assumption that some of these are going to be like you have 0 followers and you're following like 10,000 people or something. You know what I mean? Like, there's going to be some kind of. Right. Yeah. Obviously, again, machine learning. It's not stupid. It's learning. Right. It's smart. Right. It's smarter than me. It's smarter than me. It can find them much faster than I can. So, hey,
1,200 hours on this channel and never sent one single message in chat.
So, what my favorite part of this is, I want to say, is down in there. It says we engage in enforcement when necessary, including pursuing legal action.
Yeah. So I hope that means they're going after the groups.
Going after the groups, and the thing I would be interested in, what happens if you made a contract? I guess I don't know. I don't know what the deal would be. What happens if you made partner? Like, what happens if you made partner based on view botting, and now you're getting called out for it?
I mean, I think it's an instant revoke, right? Isn't that? It's probably breaking their
There's got to be something there, right? But they've got to be able to prove that when you went partner, it was based on the same results, or something along that line. Like, what if you're view botting for 100, but your average viewership is 500? Does it matter? Blah, 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 right? There's got to be some kind of detail in there, but, is it a ban? Is it a revoke of partnership? Is it a you're never allowed to get partner again?
I could see a revoke and banning from platform.
Revoke?
I feel like I remember reading an article sometime, probably, I don't know, a couple years ago, where there was a partner who was banned from the platform for this. I think he was still actively viewbotting even after getting his partnership and stuff like that. But I don't know. It's one of those things that's just like a black mark, you know? I don't see why they would want them back in any way, shape, or form, right?
Right. I mean, I would just be like, okay, you're done. Like, or you'll no longer have the ability to monetize on Twitch, right? Just period.
Yeah.
Like your channel can still exist, but you're out, right? Like affiliate partner, you're done, right? Like be gone.
Yeah.
If you want to get a Patreon and do your darndest, go do that. But don't think that you're going to get it from here anymore. But like, at what point does Twitch have the ability to go after legal action further? Like, I mean, I guess they probably don't have any claims to like try to get money back because in most efforts, the content creator's making the money for Twitch, right? You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it's still our content that's designed to generate revenue for both. It's not Twitch giving us money up front to then go and try and do anything with. So I don't think they can do anything to try to recuperate any expenses or anything like that, trying to redact people's payouts or something like that, right? Like some kind of weird some kind of weird process. But I do think that, we'll see it'll be interesting to see at the end of this, right? Like in another month, if the number of partnered accounts just goes and just like falls.
Yeah, I mean, because with botting, you are defrauding their system to get into a financial contract with them. So, like, I don't know. As far as I'm concerned, that's as harsh as any stuff can be when you're violating their rules and DOS and stuff they have put down. So,
just trying to, playing that gray area of the line, like,
right. You're you're walking it real hard.
I mean, I get into that same like playing the gray area of the line where you're saying like any broadcast that is put live on Twitch, as an affiliate, any broadcast that's put live on Twitch, you're not supposed to rebroadcast within 24 hours, right? But what happens, gray area? What happens if you don't broadcast to Twitch? You broadcast to a third party, and say that. This gets into that whole multi-streaming concept. Say that YouTube gets the stream half a second before Twitch. Who technically? How technically? Because technically, I'm not rebroadcasting what's on Twitch. I'm creating two separate content streams, and they just so happen to be providing the same information twice, right? It's kind of a weird gray area. I think you really could get into a legal debate, battle for that. I've always had a question about the restreaming portion of the contract. I mean, outside of Twitch's like partner contract where it says you're not allowed to stream anywhere, I think that like affiliates kind of have some legal ground to kind of wiggle their way through a debate on that, but that's beside the
And us poor little affiliates, too, at the end of the day, we're not a huge financial chunk for Twitch. So I think we're I'm not going to say we're granted more leeway. It's just a lot more of the affiliates that walk that gray area. It just goes unnoticed because, it either doesn't get reported or never found out because it's such a small viewership number of things like that.
Right. So where this gets into the opinion of how does this affect Twitch as a brand? Right. And the idea behind this and what I've been trying to wrap my head around is we've all made the statement and we've all made the understanding that Twitch doesn't care about anybody but itself. As long as Twitch is making money, right? As long as Twitch continues to make money, it'll let everybody do whatever it wants. It lets the hot tub streamers do the hot tub streams. It lets the haters do the hate streams. It lets the I don't know. I'm trying to think of something else ridiculous. So let's the peanut butter sandwich guy make peanut butter sandwiches. I don't know. I'm just trying to
love the peanut butter sandwich guy.
But like you have these streams that, have always been kind of a gray area for like safe content to be consumed. And, is Twitch trying to change their mindset or their vision for that? Right. Earlier this year, they came out with their new guidance policy for like hate crimes and streams and things like that. Right.
Yeah.
And trying to make it impactful. And I think they made I think they made a recent modification to that. I'm not positive that even employs to off-stream content. Is that correct?
I do remember reading that. Yeah.
So now, and this I think is really good. That's where I get into this image and brand and understanding, because it's always been a weird gray area for like football and basketball and these other sports where you have an athlete who is a model athlete on the court, never argues with the referees, plays his game, does everything, but then he gets off court and he goes out and gets drunk, drives his car, and runs through a building.
Whoops.
How does that impact
another Saturday?
Yeah, how does that impact the NBA or the NFL or the major league sports in whatever way? Like, how does that impact them in general, right? But it does, because one, it impacts the teams, it impacts the perception of what the league allows players to do. Same concept goes here with Twitch, right? Like, as Twitch wants to get recognized as a major league player, a major league entity, in terms of obviously not sports specifically, but as it wants to get recognized as a worldwide brand, it's got to start holding people accountable everywhere, because every individual that has their name attached to it is going to be a representative of that brand, even when they're not streaming, right? You're walking around with your Twitch shirt on, right? Or like partnered or whatever, right? People see that and they're like, why would I want to go be a part of that?
Yeah, no, and the last thing too you want to see is the articles, like Twitch partner arrested for this, or things, and it's anybody who's a partner, they're an ambassador. They are the face of Twitch itself. It's what people see more so than anything. We don't know really anything about Twitch behind closed doors. We just know the people that are out here making money for them live each and every day, each and every night. So I feel like it's very acceptable on everybody's behalf that they have to live up to that brand on and off stream.
Right. I mean, this goes back where this kind of goes back to when Dr. Disrespect did that live stream and went into the bathroom.
Oh man.
Right? And as accidental as that is, it leads into this very weird gray area of IRL content. Right? But it's something that you can't allow to happen. Like, that is a brand changing experience for people. Yeah. Right? The first time somebody says like the worst thing that's happened on Twitch, right? And that's not it, right? I mean, I don't think that's one of them. I mean, potentially, right? I mean, that's pretty bad. But there's been plenty of situations where Twitch has allowed these people to, okay, 2 weeks,
Yeah. Little wrist slap.
2 weeks, and then we'll bring you back in. Just play
all
nice.
Know the crazy scenarios that have happened with people over the years.
There was the bomb threat one. I couldn't believe that one. That one was absolutely insane. When the guy went on college campus and like had a bomb threat alert play through TTS or something like that.
Yeah, that's just
stuff like that.
The world we live in.
I mean, that guy was permabanned, right? That really happened. That was an end of story thing. But that's a brand
charge against somebody like that.
That's a brand changing experience, right? Like that's right. Like, people are like, oh God, these guys, this is what they're doing. This is what their image is, right? And that's what people think of. Where this could be the first time they're hearing about streaming culture, and they hear it from a negative connotation from the news.
Yeah.
From mainstream media, and that's not what Twitch needs to continue to happen. It can't allow to continue to happen.
Yeah, especially, like people like us who are parents and things like that, anybody who streams, they're trying to tell their family or friends or parents about it, and they don't really know what Twitch is all about. The sad thing is, if people go search it, the articles they're going to get are these horror stories, these bad things happening.
Yeah.
And that's going to be, like you said, that's going to be their representation now of what Twitch is. And it's like, God, this is what my son does. This is what my family member's a part of. Like, what?
Yeah.
Why is this what they wanted to be doing?
It's crazy to me that it's taken this long for it to kind of happen this way, right? Like, it's crazy to me that it's kind of taken this long for it to be this way. But I want to applaud. I want to applaud Twitch to some extent to kind of have this sense of net neutrality, right? Like, hey, we'll stay out of it, but if you get in trouble, you're in trouble. But now they got it. Now again, they're becoming, now we've made statement again in the past. They're the big boy, and now they're starting to have competition. So now when it comes to competition, they have to think about it in terms of, if somebody were to start streaming today and they didn't know anything about all three platforms, which one are they going to go to? Right? Are they going to go to the one with all the drama and all the craziness and all the hate and all the, all the bad press? Are they just going to go to the quiet one and start out? I don't know, right? Everybody makes a decision differently, right? But that's a decision you're going to have to make. And
done.
And any negative connotation there causes concern.
Yeah, and you'd rather be known as the platform that backs its content creators, than the platform that just allows martial law, basically, where it's just kind of running chaos. And it's been nice. It's been nice to see, the code of conduct change beginning of the year. This thing with the bot accounts, which we're trying to believe, right? It's for the good of the content creators and the viewers and things like that. The integrity of it all, rather than some move that somehow benefits Twitch and we just can't figure it out yet.
So I was thinking about that too, and I was like, I can't imagine that there's in any way that there is a benefit to make this move for Twitch, right? Other than integrity, because even from a perspective of the current race or the current, measurements that are being made, here's the number of hours streamed, here's the number of the average viewer watch time, here's all this, all these metrics that are being placed on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, where they're trying to figure out who's the big boy, who's the best right now. By eliminating all these people, Twitch is only hurting itself, in that aspect.
Right? Yeah, 'cause if you think that's 7.5 million viewers that are being fed ads and stuff like that on channels, that's definitely ad revenue they're killing themselves out of.
That's true too.
Just trying to find any way that, no, this really is something Twitch is doing for all of us. But I agree with you. I think the integrity really is the biggest thing, and it's for those of us who aren't doing it, we love to see it, because then it gives us a fair shake at climbing the Twitch ladder and getting our name out there more and being seen, and not competing against these people who might have, 50 viewers because 45 of them are botted.
Yeah. So right now the average peak or the average number of viewers is only 3 million.
Yeah, I was going to say right now there's 3.3 million viewers watching streams currently at this moment.
Yeah, and there's the peak over the past 7 days, the peak number of viewers was 5.8 million.
Okay.
So even at 7.5 million accounts, that's a big number, right? And some of those could be inactive, some of those could be whatever they are, right? But they've been somehow identified as a bot account, right? Yeah. So at some point, you're going to have to say that these are going to be impactful. If more accounts than your peak viewers, is getting deactivated due to botting. What does that say?
Right? What do we tell the people that, might be watching some of their favorite streamers, and they're used to seeing an average of 40, 50, 100, and over these next few weeks that starts to go down, heavily.
Just be patient. I mean, you're gonna see some major transitions here for some streamers. I mean, I think this is going to impact a lot more people than we think. I really do. I think there's going to be a lot of people in the weeds that haven't talked about it. We've had some discussions in the past, just do what you got to do to make it, right?
Right.
Blur the lines, be gray, right? Do what you got to do, and then once you make it, then you can slow down, right? Then you can back off and be squeaky clean. Now that you're in the spotlight, get squeaky, right? Go wash yourself off. You got to climb through the dirt. You got to get muddy. And then once you're up on top of the hill, you don't got to get muddy anymore, right? Yeah. But I think we'll be very interested. And I'm my biggest thing again is, like I said, partners. I would be very interested to see the average viewership for the number of partner accounts that were in that 100 range, and see if that changes. True. See if it changes. It might not, right? It might be way less than I'm thinking. It might be way less impactful than I'm thinking, but this just kind of jumps out to me, especially with that number, again, the number of counts being deactivated is more than the number of viewers in 7 days, the peak viewer count. So
yeah,
it's got to be
even
something.
that, even if we just see the viewer count, like if it takes like any type of, I won't even say significant, just a decent percentage hit over the next month, that says a lot too. You know, if they say right now 10% of that number, you know, say if 300,000 of the 3 mil are bots viewing channels, you know, we'll be able to see those numbers reflected in the averages. So it'll be curious. Definitely something I'm going to have my eye on.
So the peak viewer count in the past 365 days. So the peak viewer count for the past year was only 6.5 million.
Whoa, what a guess.
Yeah, 6.5 million. So that 5.8 million that I mentioned earlier was in the past 3 days. So that's like brand new, right, coming out of the gate. Where those were at, I don't know, but it just seems weird.
Yeah, no, I mean, and like you had mentioned, me and him, you know, we peep in on channels here and there, and we see some streams once in a while that have, you know, 50 to 100 people and maybe 2 active chatters. But we check too the third-party sites, and we see some channels that, you know, steady growth, 400, 500, 600 followers, and all of a sudden 2,500, 5,000. We see these odd giant spikes out of nowhere, and, you know, it raises questions. So it'll be curious to kind of check back on some of those channels we've marked as suspicious in our books and see what happens to them over time here. So they're starting to get rid of these bots.
So question for you while I'm looking through these numbers here.
Yeah.
Who's Indie Fox?
I mean, I hate to say that I know who this is.
Okay, so it's something salacious.
Yeah, it's just one of those.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah,
I just thought it was really weird. I just thought it was really weird. Their channel must be fairly new because in the past, I was like somebody just follow botted here. In the past 3 days, so their channel has 835,000 followers. Okay, 835. In the past 3 days, they got 805 follows. 805,000. I'm sorry, 805,000.
Oh, well,
so
yeah, I mean,
they have gone
huge.
up 2,500%, almost 2,700%.
That's a bit much
in 3 days.
That's excessive.
Apparently, people just found out this channel existed because.
It's a hot tub, you know, risque looking outfits and things like that. But
gotcha.
I don't know. They're not that new where like the channel would double like that overnight, but
double
stuff like that just makes you question.
Yeah,
I mean, she had like 800 plus, and then got 805 in one day.
No. She had 35,000, and she.
I wonder if it's a new channel that was created. If she got her old one banned or something like that.
Maybe, I don't know, because it went from.
I feel like she had more than 35,000.
35,000, or she had 30,000 in the past 3 days. It's gone up 805,000 followers.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah,
so that's crazy.
That had to be created or something.
But there's several in here. There's one.
Yeah,
there's
for sure.
Baby Rainbow. I don't know. 401,000 new follows in 3 days. No idea. I mean, it looks like it's a brand new channel. Yeah, it looks like it's a brand new channel. Another one. I mean, 148,000 for somebody that they had 2,000 followers, and then they just went up 148,000 in 3 days. I mean, these could be entirely. They could be 100% entirely legit. I'm not saying they're not. I'm just saying that it looks weird.
Oh yeah, like that. That'd be like if me or you woke up tomorrow, you know, and we had 15,000 followers or something. Like, that's fishy. I'd be fucking suspicious about myself. Like, what did I do? Like, did I do something and it's clipped and I didn't like?
Did I go viral somewhere and I have no idea what happened?
Yeah. Am I trending right now?
Like sitting on stream, like you accidentally leave your stream running or something. You like start taking your clothes off or something. You know, like something ridiculous, and somebody clips it.
Man. One of those many things that we never want to see happen. But yeah, I mean, and then there's the chance, you know, if they just moved over from another platform or something like that, you can see spikes. But it's still like Q said, it's just you question it because the math doesn't make sense. So. Not saying that they're all fishy people doing sketch stuff, but it'll be fun to watch. These fake engagement being taken down, as Twitch likes to call it.
Yeah, exactly. Get rid of that. Get rid of the fake engagement. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But that's it for me this week. I'm done, dude. I'm mentally spent. We need to keep an eye on this, though. I want to see over, we need to follow up on this every week for the next month and see if we can kind of keep an eye on and see how it's trending to see if this really does make an impact.
Yeah, no, and it's, again, good on Twitch. Integrity is a big thing. I'm happy to see it. So, again, those of us who aren't doing anything, those of us who aren't waiting in the gray areas of Twitch to try to get ourselves in a better spot are going to be very happy to see those who are get brought back down a bit and, make the game even again.
So we'll see what happens. Until next week, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Chris. I'm just sticking with the mic guy tonight, even though I'm on Twitch saying Qualizar. Found a way to sneak it in there.
The mic guy just rolls off the tongue, man.
Yeah. We appreciate you all. Dusty, we
especially
forgot
those patrons.
I was
going to
say we forgot to mention a couple of people. We did.
Lovely patrons. All the supporters.
Thank you so much, guys. You guys are what make this content amazing. We will check you all next week.
We'll see ya.